Welcome into Texans Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and on today's show, we're going to be tier ranking every position group between the teams in the AFC South. So we're going to go through every single position group and tell you how I view all the teams in the AFC South, 1 to 4. Speaking of teams in the AFC South, we have a Jags channel here at Chat Sports, and I hate losing. There's nothing more than I hate than losing, and we are currently losing to our Jags channel in terms of subscribers gained in the month of July. We've gained 262. They've gained 288. If you haven't already, go down and hit that subscribe button. You get free Texans content all year long. We are the most interactive and friendly Texans channel here on YouTube. So if you want free content, if you want to be part of the biggest community of Texans fans here on YouTube, go down, hit that subscribe button, and help make sure that we don't lose to the freaking Jags channel here at Chat Sports. All right, so this is how it's going to go. We're going to go from the top to the bottom, and we are going to be tier ranking all of these positions. And first up is quarterback. So we have all 4 teams. Producer Brian in the background is going to help me with this one. I think we got to go quarterback. It's got to be the Houston Texans. Maybe Trevor Lawrence has a right. Maybe he has, some argument to be number 1 on this list. But no way am I putting Trevor Lawrence over CJ Stroud. Like, I just can't do that. I think, if we're considering the contracts too, Trevor Lawrence way overpaid for how good he actually is. And, call me crazy. I'd rather have CJ Stroud than Trevor Lawrence. I think the AFC South actually one of the weakest divisions in terms of quarterbacks, and probably the biggest group of unproven guys. You have, Trevor Lawrence, who is okay, but, I think is way overvalued. Cam Ward, I really like him, but underproven. And Daniel Jones. So I'm going to go Texans, Jags, and then give me the Titans next. I actually like Cam Ward. I think he has a lot of good tools. I think that he can, be a good player. And then I'm going to the Colts on this one. But should I? And I'm going back and forth on if I'm just putting on my Texans goggles on this one. Producer Brian, should I put Trevor Lawrence ahead of CJ Stroud? Am I being crazy for this?
I think for now.
Oh, okay. Producer Brian pulling my leg. We'll put the Texans second on here.
Yeah.
We'll go Jags 1. We'll go Texans 2, even though it breaks my heart that blonde-haired whatever quarterback. Whatever. All right, we'll put Trevor 1 on this list. Running back, I don't think this is even a question of who's number 1. It's the Colts. They have Jonathan Taylor. He is easily the best running back in this entire division. I think you got to put the Colts at number 1 for running back. Number 2, I'm actually between the Titans and the Texans. I like Tony Pollard. I think he's a very undervalued guy. Yeah. Okay. Give me the Texans 2. Give me the Titans 3, though, because I like Tony Pollard. I think he's a really good back. Togiai Spears, I think, has a lot. The Jags, I think, are clearly the 4th team. They have Bashaw Tutin, who I think is more of a scat back, a number 2 back. Maybe he proves me wrong. They also, though, added another running back in Rodriguez, who actually, it's funny enough, he was with Liam Cohen whenever they were in Kentucky together. So a little bit of, familiarity there between those two guys. But the Texans coming in number 2 in back-to-back rankings for quarterback and running back. And that leads me to this question, my Prize Picks question of today's show. Fill in the blank. The Texans have the blank ranked running back room in the entire NFL. Let me know down below in the comments section, how would you rank the Texans running back room in the entire NFL? They were number 2 in my ranking in the AFC South. I think for the entire NFL, I might go like 11 or 12. Like, I like David Montgomery. I'm really high on Woody Marks. I think as a rookie, he played really well in a spot where, he really wasn't supposed to be the starter last year, but I really like what I saw out of Woody Marks, and I think the fact that we have David Montgomery, it's going to open up Woody Marks in the passing game this year for the Houston Texans. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. While you're down there, if you want to get started with our sponsor, check it out, our friends over at Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. It's the place to go. If you love watching sports and winning cash, it is the place if you love maybe World Cup action, maybe basketball, maybe baseball, hockey, football, esports, golf, tennis. If any of those sports you love, well, Prize Picks, they got you covered. Billions paid out already. And with the team pick section, you can pick winners, spreads, and totals as well. This is my projections for season long for football. We were just talking about the running back position. I got David Montgomery more on the rush yards, CJ Stroud more on the passing touchdowns, Trevor Lawrence, who I begrudgingly ranked #1 in the AFC South. I have his less on the rush yards and more on Will Anderson Jr. sacks. You can copy my lineup or make your own. Just do it with our friends over at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today with the link down in the comments and description of today's show and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. New users, once again, download the Prize Picks app today with the link in the comments and description and use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right. Let's go to the next one on the list, and it is, let's see. We'll go wide receiver, tight end, and O-line. So we'll start, what is the first one on there? O-line. Offensive line, I think you still have to give it to the Colts. Even though they lost Braden Smith to us, I think they, have a good amount still coming back. They have Quentin Nelson, who's arguably the best offensive lineman out of anybody in the AFC South, I would say. I think he still plays at a very high level. So give me the Colts, #1. I think the Texans, with all the moves that they made, I think they actually vault up to #2 on this list, actually. I think they've done a really good job in adding players and really adding more talent along that offensive line. If Wyatt Teller can, show out, if he can be a guy that starts at left guard, Braden Smith or Trent Brown, if one of those guys plays well at right tackle, the center position with the rookie Keelan Rutledge or Jake Andrews, I think the Texans come in at #2 once again on this one. #3 is going to be tough. I actually, it's like there's a lot of unproven with the Jags and with the Titans. I'm just going to go with the Jags 3 and the Titans 4, just because I think the Titans have the worst contract in all of the NFL in terms of tackles, and they paid Dan Moore Jr. a ton of money, and he is a below-average tackle. Like, the Jags, I think they have a decent setup there with their offensive line, even though it's nothing, to write home to mama about. The Titans, I like Peter Skoronski. I like some of the pieces, but I think I'm going to go – yeah, I think that's right. I think we go Colts, Texans, Jags, Titans. The next one up, let's go wide receiver rooms. Give me the Texans at #1 on this one. And I think it's because Nico Collins, he is the best receiver in the AFC South, in my opinion. I think he is #1. I think Tank Dell coming back, that's going to give this room a big boost. And I'm a big fan of both Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. I think those two guys are going to boost up this Texans wide receiver room. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a top 10 unit in 2026. If Nico Collins can stay healthy, if these guys can stay healthy, that's the biggest key, right? If the Texans wide receiver room stays healthy, I think they have the best wide receiver room in all of the AFC South. Next up, I'd probably go the Jags, because they have a lot of guys where like in Madden, where it's like you have just a ton of guys who are like 85 overall. That's how I view the Jags wide receiver room. Like Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington. They have a lot of like really good guys. Brian Thomas Jr., like if he's able to just like not drop the football, I think that is a good wide receiver room. They have a lot of talent in that wide receiver room. Travis Hunter, I'm not sold on him being a corner / wide receiver. I think in the NFL, you have to be a different breed to do both. I'm not sure Travis Hunter is that guy. I'm going to go the Jags #2. I like the Colts #3. Alec Pierce, I think, got overpaid. I think he's a wide receiver too that's making below, like low-end wide receiver 1 money. I do like Josh Downs, though. His brother Caleb Downs got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys this year. Josh Downs, though, a really good NFL player in his own right. I think that duo, even though they're losing Michael Pittman, I like that duo ahead of what the Titans have because they have Carnell Tate. I think Wan'Dale Robinson was a massive overpay by them as well. But, maybe Carnell Tate proves me wrong. Maybe I also think, drafting him 4th overall was a massive overdraft this year in terms of, his value and what he's going to bring. I think he's going to be a good wide receiver, 1B or wide receiver 2. Is he that alpha guy? Because, if you're drafting a wide receiver in the top 5 picks, you're expecting him to be on the level of Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. I don't think Carnell Tate is there. I don't think he's that guy. I would say the Titans probably have the 4th on this list. All right, let's go to tight end. I think this one's another easy one. It's the Colts. Tyler Warren is just proven to be a great tight end for them, and I think he continues that path this year. I really like him. I wish the Texans were able to draft him out of Penn State. He was an awesome prospect. The Colts really loving the fact that they were able to get him in that offense. I think that's also a big reason why Daniel Jones was able to, be a, bounce back player for Indianapolis. He's like a safety blanket for them, a really good tight end over the middle. Call me crazy. I'm going the Texans number 2 on this one too. I like Dalton Schultz. I think he gets overhated. A lot of people just because Dalton Schultz just because he's not somebody who's going to, bust a play for 50, 60 yards, but he is another short-handed guy. I think he's somebody who, doesn't get enough love. I love the addition of Foster Moreau this offseason. I think the Texans are going to use their tight ends a lot more. I'm a big Brevin Jordan guy as well. I hope he's able to stay healthy this offseason, come back. But give me the Texans at number 2 at the tight end spot. Number 3, give me the Jags at number 3. Britton Strange, he just got a contract. He's a top 5 paid tight end now, Britton Strange. I thought he played well last year, but I think that's a little bit of an overpay by the Jags. A team that's already tight on money. I thought them paying Britton Strange that sort of cash was a little strange for me. Yeah, pun intended. But give me the Jags at number 3, which would then put the Titans there at number 4 in terms of the tight end rankings. All right, before we get into more rankings here, I have a question for you because I think we all know the Texans defense is going to dominate these next rankings here in just a moment, but this season relies on the offense. So my question to you is, will the Texans have a top 15 offense this season? Give me a yes, give me a no down below in the comments section. I think if the answer is yes, we can think of the Texans as a Super Bowl caliber team, a team that is a threat to go all the way in the AFC. Let me know your thoughts though. Will the Texans have a top 15 offense this season? Give me a yes, give me a no, your thoughts down below in the comments section. All right, let's go next here on our tier list. What is that one? Edge rush. Yeah. Is it just D-line? All right, CB, safeties, D-line. Okay, that's fine. Let's go. Let's just go in order. We'll just go in order for the tier list. This one is cornerbacks. Easy. It's the Texans. The Texans are number 1 on this, and it's not even close. You have Derek Stingley. You have Kamari Lassiter. I think those are the best 2 corners in the entire division. I don't think there's any corners that are better than those 2 guys. I think they clear. I think it is easily the Houston Texans have the best cornerbacks in this division. Number 2 for me would be the Colts, even though I'm a known Sauce Gardner hater. I think if his name was Jeff Gardner, people wouldn't view him as the type of player he is. I think he gets some aura points for having the name Sauce at times. He's a good player. That's why I'm putting the Colts there at number 2. I think he might be the 3rd best corner in this division. Sneakily, I like what the Titans did at the cornerback spot. They got 2 new corners. Cordell Flott is one of them. I think they were able to add some more, talent, some more depth there at the cornerback spot. Give me the Titans there at number 3. And then I'm going to go with the Jags at number 4 in terms of cornerbacks in the division. I think they have some decent guys, but I think the additions by the Titans this offseason. Plus, they have Robert Saleh. So if Robert Saleh, I think he comes from that same kind of tree, that same kind of branch of DeMeco Ryans, both former 49ers defensive coordinators. If he is going out and signing those two corners, I think they're going to do a good job there in Tennessee. I think they're going to be much better on the defensive side this year. The next one, I believe that's safeties, right? Safeties, give me the Texans. It's the Texans once again. You added Reed Blankenship. You have Kalen Bullock, and I'm throwing in Jalen Petrie into that mix. It's clearly the Texans. I think the Texans defense, they were number one last year. Obviously, they're going to continue to dominate in these rankings on the defensive side of the football. They very easily have the best safeties in the AFC, in my opinion. Give me the Texans for this one. And then going to the other teams. Give me the Colts next on this one. This one's tough. This one's like, going through it. Give me the Jags and then the Titans for this one. This one's tough. I mean, it's like, I think it's so hard to rank these teams based on. I think they're just, the other safety rooms in this division are just meh. Splitting hairs. That's how I'm going to go with it. Between the Texans are number one. Give me the Colts 2, Jags 3, and Titans 4. All right, we're going to get into our next rankings here, which D-line, and we also have linebacker here in just a moment. But we all know who's probably going to be number one for the D-line rankings, and it is because we have the Terminator, baby. We got Will Anderson Jr. Swarm Patrol is here. If you want to get our amazing shirts, it's at chatsports.com/HOU shop. You can get our Will Anderson Jr. Terminator t-shirt. We also have our Swarm Patrol t-shirts as well available on the shop. If you want to help out the show, if you want to support us, get all of our cool gear, it's this link right here, chatsports.com/HOU shop. We also have brand new tank tops available as well. They're the For the H tank tops. Shout out to my guy Arnold. He absolutely cooked with this design. I love this tank top material as well. It's the comfort colors, so I think it's a little bit of a better material. If you want to check out any of our merch, it's chatsports.com/HOU shop. Go get it this year. It's perfect, to wear during the summertime, perfect to wear during the season as well. The For the H shirts, the For the H tank tops, and of course, the bestseller, the Will Anderson Jr. Terminator t-shirts, all available on our website right now. It's chatsports.com/HOU shop. All right, let's go on with our list. And like I said, I think this is a very easy ranking for me for defensive line. Texans right there. Oh, this one is tough because I actually really like Leitu Latu, the defensive end from the Indianapolis Colts. Oh, this one is tough. But I think I have to give it to the Jags at number 2. They have Josh Hines-Allen. They have the former number 1 overall pick in Trayvon Walker, which I keep on saying in 10 years, he is 100% going to be a trivia question if you go out to bar trivia of who was the number 1 pick, in his year's draft. I think the fact that Trayvon Walker was a number 1 pick, if he was a second-round pick, we'd view Trayvon Walker as a much better player. But because he was the number 1 overall pick, he's definitely not lived up to that standard. But he's still a good player. I think the Jags maybe have the number 2 defensive line in the AFC South. Number 3, give me the Colts. I'm going to go with them. I think they have a decent defensive line. Like I said, Leitu Latu, I think is kind of coming into his own as a good edge rusher. The Titans, they have Jeffrey Simmons, which that mucks up the waters a little bit as well because, maybe put them ahead of the Colts. I can't put them ahead of the Jags though because the Titans, they don't really have they have Jermaine Johnson as an edge rusher, but he's been injured the past couple of seasons. Yeah, them having Jeffrey Simmons really messes it up because he's like the best defensive tackle in the NFL. But I think I got to go Jags before Titans, though. Yeah, that's going to be my list. It would be much easier if they did edge rusher and then defensive tackle because then I would have put the Titans number 1 at defensive tackle. Yeah, this is tough. I think I'm going to stick with this, though, just because I like the edge rushers for the Jags better than the edge rushers for the Titans. But adding Jeffrey Simmons, into the mix, I think that puts them ahead of the Colts. That you can't be last and have the best defensive tackle in the National Football League. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. All right, next up, linebacker. And it's funny because last year, the Jags would have been number 1. They had Devin Lloyd. They lost him this offseason. So I cannot put the Jags number 1 for linebackers. Give me the Houston Texans at linebacker, too. I think they have the best out of the bunch here with Azeez Al-Shaiir. ESPN recently came out with their top 10 list. He came in at number 6. I think deservingly so. He's a really good player. Give me the Jags at number 2, though, because I still like Foyesade Olukun. I think he's still a really good player. I think he's a good linebacker for them. They have a couple other guys there in Jacksonville that could possibly not replace Devin Lloyd, because you're not going to be able to replace that guy. He's like an all-pro talent. But still, I think the Jags are decent there at linebacker. Give me the Colts at number 3, and then the Titans at number 4. The Titans could definitely jump a couple of these teams, but they drafted Anthony Hill Jr., the linebacker out of Texas, in round 2, an unproven guy. So maybe if he develops throughout the season, we'll see the Titans kind of jump up on the tier list there. But yeah, give me the Titans at number 4, Colts number 3, Jags 2, Texans 1. And then last up, special teams. I'm going to go with the Texans number 1 on this too. I mean, Kaimi Fairbairn, he has been so clutch, Mr. Clutch for the Houston Texans. He's been somebody who he's not a kicker that's going to kick 60 plus. But inside 50, he's been money. So I think that is a big help for this Texans team to have somebody who you can rely on, who's a good kicker inside 50 yards. He has hit some 50 plus. He doesn't have the leg to go 60 plus. But you know what? It's hard for me thinking about, I don't know the punter stats for these teams, so I'm really basically basing this off of kicker. But the Jags do have a really good kicker, though. He has the NFL record for, you know what, give me the Jags ahead of the Texans for this one. I'll put the Jags ahead of the Texans. Their kicker is just and we have like I said, I don't know the punter stats for all these teams, but the Texans have a new punter this year. I don't know how. It's either going to be Kai Kroger or Jack Stonehouse, the UDFA out of Syracuse, or the guy that the Texans traded for with the New Orleans Saints. So I'm not sure how that will go. Give me that. And then between these last 2 teams, it's splitting hairs. You know what? Give me the Titans 3 and the Colts 4. The Titans got Tommy Townsend, who I think is a good punter, left the Houston Texans for the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I think that's fair. We go Jags 1, Texans 2, Titans 3, Colts 4. That's what I'm gonna go. That's my tier list. Let me know. Do you agree with my tier list? Do you have something different? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. I think this is a pretty good one in my opinion. I'm going to put this on social media as well. You can go ahead and follow me on all my social media accounts at Jeremy Chugs on X, at Jeremy Chugs on IG, at Jeremy Chugs on TikTok, and embrace debate. Let me know what you think about my lists as well, and let me know where I went wrong, where I went right on my list. And if you made it to the end of today's video, make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button for free Texans content all year long. This is your one-stop shop for everything involving the Houston Texans.